Oh, boys, I may be getting gremlin because I think there was a little blip there. I pushed the button with 1 second left, and it took a minute to do the thing. So I think you might have seen a little Easter egg of us right before the intro started. If so, apologies. That's what happens when we produce things ourselves on a shoestring. But welcome to the Loco Sports Lowdown. Regardless of what you saw in the intro, welcome to Loco Sports Lowdown. I'm Justin Jarrett. We've got Wes Kerr and Marcus Walsh, and Jeremy Orr has jumped in backstage as well. He's going to jump in a little bit with us and talk some USCB hoops because it was a busy weekend. We of course on
Yeah.
Mondays have been convening to talk football primarily and look back on the previous Friday. We of course had 6 football games on Friday. We will dive into those. 3 teams are moving on: Hilton Head and Hampton County onto the lower state semifinals, and Colleton Prep into the championship game in Skeezo 1A. They'll take on Williamsburg Academy at 3:30 Saturday at Orangeburg's South Carolina State, Oliver C. Dawson Stadium. So yeah, we'll talk about all those games in a little more detail, as well as the ones that didn't go our way, and check out some highlights that we have. And we also had a state champ that we told you about on the Loco Sports Loco Pigskin Live the other night. If you were watching, we did announce that Bluffton taking home another girls cross country state championship. So those are the big stories on the docket. Brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our presenting sponsors of the Loco Sports Lowdown. Mickelson Law Firm. Been with us since the beginning, and WHHI, our partner in local sports. And Marcus Walsh is with us from WHHI, although he was
Yes, indeed.
moonlighting Friday on Beaufort's
I've
own
I
over at
can't
to watch Wes's Seahawks take the champion or take
I
another win.
can't wait to talk to Robin Zimmerman tomorrow. I'm going to be on Talk of the Town and tell her how much football I've seen over the last couple of weeks because she's like, "Aren't you done?" And I'm like, "No, I'm still working."
Just
Um,
getting started, baby.
yeah, and it's been awesome, to see what Javon is doing. All the kudos and credit in the world to that dude
Heck yeah.
because he is
Yeah.
doing all of that by himself 9.5 times out of 10.
Uh,
And I
Crazy.
mean, I'm trying to come up with ideas to get him like a permanent broadcast partner or somebody like maybe a Jeff Riley or somebody just to help him out, week after week. Because I mean, it
Yeah.
Maybe a Jeremy
certainly
Orr all
could
hitting you
definitely
with the
help.
wheels.
Jeremy Orr would be another great one for sure.
Sure.
Um, but I called May River Hilton Head with him, and then we did the Gilbert Bluffton game last week. And on Friday, I did the play-by-play. He was on color, talking about Javon, and Max Saraj was on color as well. I felt like Al Michaels, flanked by like Frank Gifford and Dan Deerdorf. You know, got one color guy, former player to my left. I got another color guy, former player to my right. And I think we're going to do the same thing this Friday,
It's
seeing
got the whole
great
crew back.
collegiate and
Yeah.
Hilton Head. So
Nice.
um, that was Friday, and then I spent all but 2 hours with him on Saturday, traveling from here to Ellenwood/Morrow, Georgia, and going
It's
to
giving the odd
the uh,
couple, by the
the
way.
the big get getting the big NSAC championship game between Clayton State and Lake
Yeah, I saw you
House
guys
Christian
posing with the
College,
cams.
and we posed with Clayton State after the game. That was a tough environment for me in particular because the sun was out and it was a little bit hard to track the numbers. Did the
Oh
best that I
yeah,
could,
that's rough.
but had Javon there certainly with the camera and his phone and whatnot, and it was difficult. And for that reason, I'll be honest, it wasn't my best broadcast that I've ever done. But sometimes you got to just give it your best
Yeah,
with what you have, and that was
amen.
certainly the way it was. And I mean, calling 2 games in 24 hours is not easy, but it was amazing, and it was great, and to get to know Javon too. What a
Yeah,
we
great
we
dude.
always think of him as the character and whatnot, and his ability to do play by play, and certainly being a former football player himself, color analyst roles. But what a great guy! Javon Livingston is. And I got to be honest, I can't wait to be back with him on Friday, at least to do one more. And we'll see if Hilton Head gets some help and wins. We might have another one next week.
It's
Um,
true.
so it's going to be interesting. But this great collegiate team they're going up against, to use the words of our buddy Max Araj, they are no joke. I was taking a look at the
Are
defensive
they hitting on
numbers,
all cylinders? Are they
and
clicking on all
wow,
cylinders?
I
Appears to
I
be
mean,
that way.
yeah, right. I tell you what, that defense, we think Hilton Head's defense is great, and obviously we'll talk more about it
Yeah,
probably today and later in the week for sure.
yeah,
But this great collegiate defense from the numbers,
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
11,
It's gonna be.
11th and 25th in the state talking about great collegiate and Hilton Head. It's
Oh
a
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
top
Yeah, it
25
should be.
matchup.
Yep.
Should be a great
Two
battle. I
great
know Wes is
defenses.
excited.
Two great defenses going in. It should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, can't
I'm
wait.
excited. I mean, this is pretty cool. Hilton Head, they have had some memorable seasons in the past like 10 years, but I mean, this has really been pretty special to see how far they've taken it and to see the team as a whole. I mean, they have some studs out there, but the collective unit as a team, and even with some injuries throughout along the way, just been staying steady. And I was just very, very impressed how they settled in after giving up that they fumbled, and then they quickly gave up that score to go behind. I was thinking, how are they going to respond? And they just get right back to the game that we know
Yeah,
they could deliver. And I mean, that's exactly how it's done. Just incredible effort. I mean, this team will not flinch, and that's really a maturity factor that I think will stick with them as they get ready to go up against a very good, great collegiate team. I think they're going to compete in this game, and will have an opportunity if they play up to the level that we have seen. I think their defense is more than capable of making some big plays against this great collegiate team. I think it could be one heck of a game, and
I think we're in for a great
I
one
think
too.
it could be a potentially low scoring affair between two.
Yeah,
And that's the way Hilton likes to play, but just two terrific defenses, and I trust Reniszewski. I trust the way that he has been able to make things happen, and you never know. I'm just feeling really good about the vibes of this team right now.
yeah. I'm also feeling good about the vibes with Hampton, and we got a Hampton
Yeah.
boy waiting in the green room. I'm sure he'd like to talk about the Hurricanes as well as the Sand Sharks. So let's bring on Jeremy Orr. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas?
What's
How
up,
y'all?
buddy? How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Of course you can't. You just had a full weekend of USCB hoops. Your Hurricanes are on to the third round, so
Yeah.
all is well in your world. Sand Sharks and Hurricanes, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I got to cover 4 total games from the regional challenge between UVA Wise, Ferrum College, USCB, and who am I missing?
Georgia
Oh, Georgia
Southwestern.
Southwestern. Yep. Um, my girls took a tough loss at the hands of UVA Wise, a game that I got to do fill in for you and
Yep,
alongside Kevin
Yep.
Libby. But I will say Caroline Mullins from UVA Wise
she's a dog.
is like she's all world. I was telling Kevin Libby, I was like, we need to get her to transfer here. Cause
Yeah,
she's
she's legit. Look at this, Jo. From the
that's
final season,
fire.
That's
Estill
nice.
Gators.
That's
Always
fire.
sits back here. Yeah,
I have
save
to
that from the playoffs.
I have to ask you, Jeremy. Certainly, I've known Kevin for over a decade. He's one of my best friends. We've done countless podcast episodes together. We've done countless football games together with him on the sideline.
Mhm.
Me doing play by play. He filled in for me on a game a couple of years ago, and then we've done a ton of basketball because he's my color guy for basketball on WHHI together. What were your impressions of working with Kevin Libby for the first time?
I mean, I saw him and JJ do
Yeah,
uh, a game right like the day before I got to fill in for him. So I kind of got to meet him and talk with him a little bit. But it was interesting because that was the first time I had ever done play by play with someone alongside me. because when I did it at
It's
Salk,
different when you do it solo.
yeah, and then I was the lead guy, so that was it
Right.
was different for me, but it didn't. I knew I was the lead guy, but it didn't really feel like it, and so I think that's what made me more comfortable and what made it easier for me to kind of go through. So there's nothing for me. I had a pleasure with working alongside.
Libby is a really good partner as far as that goes, as far as recognizing when you're maybe distracted or looking something up and taking the lead for you so that there's not an awkwardness. But he never steps on your toes. But he can sense when you're in the weeds and he needs to get out in front. He's really easy to work with in that regard.
I will say this too. He's a former basketball official. So he played the game.
Oh, I
He
know. I love his
officiated the
insight about
game.
that.
And he knows the ins and outs of the game as well as anybody. And I mean this with all sincerity for sure. He knows the ins and outs of the game as well as anybody that I've worked with. And I consider that with, the guy up top there, because JJ filled in for him on our first broadcast that we had. And it was a pleasure to have you as my right-hand man there back in January, JJ, as you know. Yeah, just working with Kevin, he's got so many insights, so many stories. I know we joke around just with, his ability to be kind of a little bit of, dare I say, a loose cannon, with some things and that type of thing. But he knows how to keep it loose, but he's very focused as well, and just a great guy, a ball of energy, and one of a kind. So I'm really glad you had that experience with him for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he
Matt
just came
Siraj has seen it.
be you, and he accommodated me perfectly. So
Flattery gets you everywhere with Kevin Libby. But no, Jo, to get us back to football, I just wanted to get you in here and talk some football. But we were talking Seahawks. Do we want to check out the highlights now, or do we want to roll through other games and then check out some highlights later? What do we want to do here, boys?
Well, Max, I think, is not visible at the moment. Let's check out some other games first, I think, and then maybe by the time Max gets on screen, because he called that Hilton Head game with me.
10-4,
I won't be on screen. I am driving at the moment, so
Okay.
All right.
Y'all do what you want to do. I'm okay with anything, really.
I'm good with seeing. I'm good with seeing Hampton first, because if you have those queued up.
Yeah, 10-4. Coming right up. Here we go. It's just huddle. It's nothing special, but I'll give you an idea. Got a big sack here. We already know what the idea is. It's Jalen Singletary went for 200 plus again. There's his first touchdown, Agent Zero. I love to see the Hampton fans cheering when they score a touchdown in the video. Makes me happy. And then Sherrod got a little something cooking. I don't know. The scoreboard's always off, I feel like. But here's another Agent Zero going down to the corner where we can't see him. And there he goes again. That was not a touchdown, but it was still pretty good.
He was a beast, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. We didn't get his pick six in there. He had a pick six, 3 rushing touchdowns, 229 or 219, one or the other. 212, sorry, on 29 carries, 3 touchdowns, 40-yard pick six. So all in a night's work for Jalen Singletary these days. So they'll go on to Manning next week, and he told us last week on the show that was what he wanted. He wanted another piece of Manning, go back up there where he got hurt last year, and they ended up losing 28-27 in overtime. I want to say did Manning go for 2, or they missed the extra?
I think I think either one of them goes, or either Hampton went for 2 or they missed, or Manning converted 2, but it was heartbreak for
it was that sort of deal. It was awful. It was so sad driving home.
Man, that was a tough one.
That was the end too. That was like
because that was our last high school team.
That was it.
I think Hilton had lost that same night to South Florence.
Yes.
and Hampton went down as well. So hopefully it doesn't happen this year. I like the Hurricanes this year. I like them a lot more than I did a year ago. I think they're more refined. I think they're better this year than they were a year ago. I think Singletary's gotten better, but I think the team as a whole, I just think that we've seen some improvement defensively, and I think you're starting to see a lot more open up from the passing game.
That's it.
I think Hampton's just a little bit more resilient, just disciplined and deeper team than they were last year, and I think they're ready. Like I said, they're chopped to play them again. They could not wait, and that bracket came out when they found out they would be having that rematch against this Manning team. They were pumped and ready to go. So I expect a different outcome this time. I think Hampton. I think they don't run away with it, but I think they win it by at least a comfortable margin, or by a comfortable margin. But it's a place to play. I mean,
I think it's going to be a dogfight.
It is hard, especially 1A, 2A skis or high school league. Those road games are no joke. They can be very difficult.
Manning's they got some tradition there. They got some pride. It's going to be
a good team.
Not
battle. This kind of all. They're still a very good team.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try to get up there, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to because we are wrestling. I'm going to see if
Hampton's experience matters. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Manning has more experience.
But you can say that Manning's had that experience as well.
Yeah, they went deeper last year.
Very solid, very good program that has, just experienced a lot of success in the playoffs. And both these two teams are very good programs in 2A high school league football. So, but I like Hampton a lot. I like I said, just think they're a bit more polished than they were a year ago. But that being said, never easy having to go up there. You wish you was here, but fortunately the bracket decided that, and that's what happens in 2A football. But they'll bring a lot of energy on the road. The fans travel really well. They'll bring the bell up, and hopefully they'll be ringing the bell a lot. But and then back to that Hilton Head game. The way that we have seen other guys step up, and Jeremiah Walters has been such a breakthrough guy this year. But Josh Bigger and the way that he exemplifies that physicality and relentlessness on defense, they got some dudes. They got some dudes this year, more collectively than they have compared to other seasons. As we check out the highlights from a memorable evening at the Nest, and Wilson found a way to really make their mark early in this game, but Hilton Head's defense was the big story throughout. Hilton Head's defense relentless.
It took Hilton Head a couple of drives to really get things going.
Oh,
once they did.
Go ahead, Marcus. I was just saying
that's for you, yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I was saying. It took Hilton Head about a drive and a half or two drives really on both sides of the ball to get things going, because they were down 7-0 at the outset. But once they got going, and clearly there were a lot of mistakes by both teams, a lot of penalties that were costly, false starts, delay of games, etc. But once Hilton Head got going, and Thad Zarnecki led the way as he has really the last couple of years out of the run game, but certainly Bill Risher was outstanding. And then you look at what they were able to do, certainly in the receiving game that we talked about, with the ability of Derek Rennet-Jetski to do everything, and his ability to run the football was huge too.
Yep.
Just a great, really well played game, minus the penalties and self-inflicting wounds that BJ Payne was not real pleased with. But a 31-7 win is still that in the second round of the playoffs as they get ready for round 3 against Gray Collegiate on Friday night at the Nest.
Yep.
Yeah, and the scoring drive was, first quarter set up by the fumble and long return, and gave up one big pass and then locked it down after that. Didn't allow anything after that. So got to feel really good about the way the defense played. As you guys said earlier, I really anticipate a pretty defensive dominated game on Friday with Gray. I think every score is going to be well earned, and if you get in the 20s, you're gonna have a pretty good chance.
And that's crazy to say because I was going
Right.
through, the home and road stats and in region and non-region stats. Both teams have played three
Pause,
teams.
because that was an amazing fake field goal pass.
Oh, was it ever?
What a play call
Pulled the
by
heck out of
BJ
me.
right there. That was tremendous.
That was sensational. Both teams have played three of the same teams in Aiken, South Aiken, and the other is James Island.
Okay.
And overall, the numbers are, kind of back and forth, but both teams are averaging exactly overall 41.5 points per game.
Yeah.
Ray's defense is averaging about 10 or so points less. I don't have the numbers on me at the moment, but about 10 or so points less than Hilton Head is.
Wow.
So that's what kind of caught my eye at the start, is that this great defense is on another level. As good as Hilton Head's is, they're going to have to really find a way
This
to get
is the
through and
first
make some big plays.
This is the first real peer they've played in the playoffs. I mean, these first
Yeah.
two teams are teams they're supposed to beat. Even Wilson's a decent team, but still, like they're not in that same tier that you would at least hope Hilton Head is in. And that tier is, the four still left in the lower state and the four left in the upper state for the most part.
Of the games that I've seen with Hilton Head this year, and I've called them all one way or another. I saw him against Hardyville. I saw him against Bluffton. I saw him against May River. Saw him against Wilson. And I'm seeing him on Friday. I think that Bluffton and certainly possibly Gray, if it plays out like how we think it will, are the two teams with my eye that resemble Hilton Head the most. And I don't think, from what I've seen, there's any question about that.
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar teams. You look at Hilton, then you look at Gray Collegiate. So I mean, certainly they're going to have to do their part defensively, but you just really have a good excitement about where they're headed by the way this defense has been playing and the way they shut down Wilson. He didn't allow a point the rest away from them. Yeah, they gave a couple of chunk plays, but it was bend but don't break, and then just big stops when they needed to. And
they
even
really
when
shut down
the
McQueen
lead
too,
grew,
which was
I mean, they
huge.
just found a way to continue to stay true to their game, and just really impressive effort all the way around. Secondary continues to step up, and I mentioned some of those guys on that line.
This was insane.
Or one right here. Oh my!
Yeah, play of the night right there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was WTOC's play of the night. It was there.
I'm sure it was. It was definitely my play of the night.
Yeah, but they don't usually give the Loco that kind of love. It's usually South Savannah, so we stay slow.
But my thing with Hilton Head is, look, apart from the penalties and mistakes, they had a great game. A game you would expect out of Hilton Head with how they've been playing this season. My biggest concern going into their game on Friday, look, Gray Collegiate, probably their first real true test outside of James Island and whatnot. First true test in these playoffs, clearly.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about the offensive line right now for Hilton Head.
A little banged up.
Yeah, they're a little banged up, but I'm trying to think, is their center going to be back by Friday? That's my biggest question.
That will be a big one.
Because they're going to need him, especially now that Hayden Crockett will more than likely not be playing Friday. Especially with that injury that he had this past Friday. I just don't. I don't think he's going to be playing on Friday. A banged up offensive line against this great collegiate defense would be my biggest worry for Hilton Head. But something about, I mean, this Hilton Head team's, face challenges throughout the season, especially, next man up. And they've really actually proved that a lot this season with the next man up. And they've really done a great job. When someone gets injured, whoever steps up, they usually fill that role well on this BJ Payton run team. So I'm not overly worried, but I have to be a little bit concerned, especially because Nate Crockett's been such an important defensive line, and that he's not.
We're losing you, Max. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. We're in a jet ski. I can hear Marcus's call faintly in my ears. I don't think it's on the screen though.
Sorry,
but it's playing in the other window, and I can hear it. It makes me happy. I love your energy.
Thank you, man.
It's just constant. I can't maintain that energy.
I've been able to, have certain guys that I've listened to and modeled myself after, and then kind of form it into my own call. Certainly, a lot of it. I'll be honest. A lot of it is, the technique. Certainly that I use that we learn.
You bring it from the diaphragm.
And what I've said too, for a bunch of time as well, is that technique is in singing as well, and it certainly helps.
Yeah.
I actually learned, and I've learned a couple of lessons the hard way. I called in how I use my voice when I'm fully healthy. I've got a bit of a cold right now, but how I do that. Yeah.
That pitching wedge punt. God, that was
Yeah.
You were saying.
I actually hurt my voice in college. I did 6 months of hockey, and the last 2 weekends I called like 7 games back to back to back to back. 4 one weekend, 3 the next, including the championship game. And in the championship game, my voice was going.
And I just Tommy John surgery on your vocal cords.
I let it heal on its own, because it really wasn't at a point where I felt like I needed anything. I just
I remember we were calling like 3 or 4 games a day
really
at the
worked.
Dixie Boys World Series a couple years ago. That was a blast.
That was less vocal exhaustion and more physical exhaustion.
Yeah, because we were there all day. And then
because those days were like 14, 16 hours.
Max, you were there until like 2 in the morning.
Kevin and I had to bolt because we were just done. And Max and Alex Hunt had to do the last game.
Yeah, I think I did six, maybe 7 games that day. On color with, ending it with Alex Hunt. We were done. We weren't done until.
And then you were with someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody even see me doing the hand gesture for 6-7 up here by the logo?
Oh my god!
It says 6, maybe 7 games.
The other thing that I'll mention too, because I've done games both where I'm like in the bleachers or on the sideline with the tent with WHHI, or in the booth. And obviously when you're in the booth, you don't have to use as much volume because you're in an enclosed space and you don't have to battle as much with the crowd, which is a big thing too.
True.
Yeah, well, if you turn yourself up in your ears, that will help you modulate your volume, because you don't actually have to talk over the crowd.
And that's for me, especially with WHHI, that's all Jeremy and everybody else is doing, because we just have the stick mics. We don't have any way to turn ourselves up or down. Yeah. That's all production.
You can't hear yourself in your ears.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's hard.
Well, yeah, we don't with WHHI. We don't wear headsets for the most part. With Buford's own, we've got headsets.
I struggle without a headset. Because for the same reason, because I have to hear myself And when I have a headset, I realize that I don't have to talk louder
Here's
for the people on the
here's the
other end to
thing,
hear
and the
me.
main reason why
I
we
only have
don't
to
use
talk louder for me to
headsets.
hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and the main reason we don't use headsets with WHHI predominantly. We used to do that years ago, and I'd be doing play by play, and I would make a call, and there was a delay. So 10
Mhm.
seconds later, as I was calling something else, what I had just called was back in my ear in my head, and it was freaky.
That's
It was
horrible.
not good. It was horrible. So
Horrible,
that's why,
horrible.
for the
Yeah, you
most
can't
part,
have
we
Yeah.
do
that.
not do
Horrible.
that.
Can't have that. That's no
Mhm.
No,
bueno. Whew.
no.
Yeah. Oh man, I would go crazy. I would just
Oh,
be
I
paralyzed. I wouldn't be able to
practically
talk.
did. I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta chuck this
Wait,
thing away.
what am I saying? Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in a van down by the river now.
Right.
Put you in the van down by the river. It's hard calling a game on the sidelines, man. It is hard.
It is. It's helpful that we have that huge television screen though.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
so
But still, there are times when you need to be able to survey the field,
right.
the eye in the sky.
Yeah.
So yeah, Seahawks salted this one away, 31-7. Good stuff from them. Um, regarding Hampton, Jo, how's the folks back home feeling about this squad this year? Is this the one?
Man, it's tough to put this team in comparison to what I've seen over the years, because to me, and I'm not gonna show favoritism because this technically be the class that I should have came out with, but
Yeah.
it's like that team that had Zion and Kayvon and like that to me should have been the team to win it all. So it's
Right,
like
but Oceanside was standing in the way.
just superior. So I
Yeah.
mean, like to me, it's like if that team doesn't get it done, it's like granted, Dez is great, Jalen is great, Rail is coming along as he gets more reps. Jazz is playing pretty light side on defense. Um, but I think they got a good shot. I know they're hungry and I know they want to do it. Um, I mean, of course, I'm gonna rock with them because I want them to get one.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think they could. I think they could. I think we're all kind of rallying behind them. I'm hoping to head up to Manning this Friday and watch them play because we're out. This is our last week before we head for fall break. So
Oh, 10-4.
yeah,
Well, we may, because I was trying to figure out how I was going to be at wrestling and that. So that'd be great if you're rolling up there. I'm sure you can catch a ride. There's going to be a lot of people going from Hampton, from,
yeah.
Yeah.
from Estill and Hampton and all over the place. And they're all your cousins. I found out
Yeah,
you're related to everybody I know from up there.
kept trying to see my younger cousins. I keep telling them like, yeah, I'm gonna come see y'all play. And I told somebody the other day, I was like, if they win, I'll come home this weekend and come see them play. And of course, when they win, they gotta go up to Manning when I'm about to come home. So,
Yeah.
but I'll try to make it work.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it. I think they got
Yeah.
a good shot this year. What were you going to say, Wes?
Yeah, I'm just feeling very good about this addition to this Hampton team. I mean, second opportunity against this Manning squad, and I think the way that you've seen them play, even in the playoffs, I think are you encouraged just from what you've seen these last 2 weeks and really this region play, just taking care of business, or are you feeling good about the way this team is just trending in all directions as you get ready for another opportunity against this Manning side?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is obviously Jalen. Like, I think if Jalen, he has to lead by example. If he comes out and he plays like Jalen Singletary, I think the rest will take care of itself because I don't think there's obviously really not another running back in the state of South Carolina like Jalen Singletary. So, I mean, I think
Thanks.
just as long as he's, permitting health, as long as he's ready to go and is able to give us 100%, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. The other team that advanced, they're going to the ship. is Colleton Prep, and we don't have a whole lot of highlights, but we do have the game winner.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oops. There we go.
And I was watching this live thanks to the subscription that it was well worth the price because of this play right here. As we will,
So where were you watching that on Huddle?
Yeah, it was on Huddle.
Oh, nice. There you
And
go.
just
This is
incredible
it.
stuff
They're
by Cal
down.
Owens.
They're down 6, right?
Yep, they're down 6. It was like
Or
maybe
down
around
2.
1:20
They're
or so
down. They're
left. I
down
couldn't see the clock, but
16-14.
what a beautiful throw.
And then it
The
cuts off.
camera
I don't
wasn't
know why.
perfect, but you saw the throw and you saw the majority of it happen. And
That's all you get. That's all
yeah.
you get. It's kind of a bummer.
But you could see him go crazy.
still
It
amazing.
was what a moment for that team, for that program.
Well, it felt like they were, like they'd been in a fight. They were ahead, and then Dorchester takes the lead, and that's how they beat
Yeah,
you.
that was
They
a
wear you
backbreaker, and you
down,
just
and
saw
then
how they
they
would
kind of
respond.
sneak in the back door at the end,
Yep.
and then Colleton was able to get it in range and went for the throat, and Thomas Corbett on the other end
Yep.
of a Cale Owens dime, and
Yeah.
CPA going back to state,
Outstanding.
get a rematch against Williamsburg. They lost to him in 22, so second time in 4 years for Greg Langdale, and this is a pretty. I think they expected to be there when the season started,
agree.
and a lot of people did. And then JP2 jumped up and got them, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" But they went on a tear, and then Dorchester got them, and they went on a tear again, and got the get back. So
Yep.
I'm excited for them to get another chance. Owens, I know, was really upset about the way he played against Dorchester the first time. So for him to be the hero in the rematch is very cool. And I think they have a real shot against Williamsburg. I think it should be anybody's game. Whoever executes the best takes care of the ball type deal. I think it's a pretty even matchup.
I think the other thing is, I've said it before. This Colin Prep team knows how to learn from their mistakes really quickly, and
they've
clearly
made great
they did that.
adjustments.
Yeah, they make fantastic. And part of it is on the coaching staff too. I mean, that
Langdale's terrific. His staff is
fantastic crew. I think Colin Prep for me is, I've gotten to see them, three or four times now this year, and they never seem to disappoint me. And it just. I just love watching this team play because, again, they learn from their mistakes. They make those adjustments, and they're able to, advance on those adjustments that they've made, be able to make the plays that are necessary, to be made. And I have some strong faith in this Williamsburg team because they, looking at their film, I just saw them and I said, wow, that is a really strong team. But for Colin Prep, I think the defense has been a main factor for them this season. I mean, yeah, the offense has been fantastic, but that defense has really been able to hold down some teams this season. And I think Williamsburg might be in for it if this Colin Prep defense comes out as strong as they have been this season.
Should be a good one. Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Williamsburg's offense has been prolific, but the way Colleton Prep is locked in and played some good defense late in the season. But I think it's been one of those games where it's going to be hard for either team to stop the other. I feel like both offenses have been prolific, and it could be a really fun game by how explosive each of these teams have been into a game like this. And you look at what Thomas Harry was able to do against Williamsburg. They were able to run the football. They were able to make things happen. I expect Colleton Prep to do that and even more. I just love the way this offense has been going, and they know their game, and we can see some big time heroics from them as we go forward in that game. So I'm incredibly excited. I'm excited about the opportunity. This is a rematch of a game that happened 3 years ago, state championship game as well. And Colleton Prep, led by Cole Davis, fought admirably and had their chances to win it. Didn't go their way, but I just have the feeling that this Colleton Prep team, I mean, they're as good as the one that got there before, and I think Kel Owens will have something to say about an opportunity to better for this, and it's been cool to see just how the coaching staff has really adjusted to all of these important moments and some of the hurdles that they've had to climb this year, and it's just a really well run program, and I feel incredibly proud for what those young men have done, and just a lot of tough moments throughout the year, but it's having to reap I mean, it wasn't really adversity, but just waiting to play that Buford Academy game again, and then on top of that, just there were some moments earlier in the year where it didn't seem like themselves, but once they got back rolling, and Cal Owens, he has been the story of this year, but just don't forget about the way that defense can play, and if they're able to make up some things happen against a very good Williamsburg team, it could be a special evening over there. And Max, you will be making the trip to Orangeburg, South Carolina, to watch this thing happen. I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I do. I'm excited too, and I think this Colleton Prep team is even better than the previous one that made a run for the state championship game, because I think they're. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Colleton Prep is one of the more balanced teams we have seen out of the Loco area this year, because not only are they strong on offense, but they have been strong on defense too. I mean, I just look back at the times I've seen them this season, and I go back to that Thomas Hayward game. Now, look, Thomas Hayward wasn't playing, to the potential Thomas Hayward ended up playing at the end of the year, especially with that hard-fought effort against Williamsburg, despite the loss. But, I looked at them and I watched as they stopped Tony O'Banner in his tracks for most of the game, just holding him back behind the line of scrimmage. And I just saw both sides of the game for them. And I just said, man, if they continue to play like this, no one's going to want to play them with how they play. And when they play their top game, they're very tough to beat, and it clearly shows. Especially, I think Colleton Prep didn't have their best game against Dorchester a few weeks ago, and you came into this one. I think that obviously that Dorchester team was an absolute unit this year. I mean, they were a really dangerous team. I think Colleton Prep came out and played the best game they could possibly play against Dorchester Academy, and I expect the same thing on Saturday against Williamsburg. They're going to play the best they can possibly play, and I just think this is going to be a down to the wire kind of game between these two teams, and I can't wait to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those games where whoever has the ball last, the chance to make a big play at the end. I just really,
and I can't wait to make my pick on Thursday for this game, because honestly, I'm not really sure who to go with, because both of these teams are absolutely fantastic programs. Clearly, Williamsburg has been over the years, but Colleton Prep's one of those teams I just have a feeling like they're a team that could take down Williamsburg if they play the right kind of game in the best possible way. So I can't wait to make this pick, because I really cannot decide between the two teams right now.
Wouldn't that mean that you want to wait a while? Yeah. If you couldn't wait, that would mean like you're excited to make it. That would mean you already made your mind up, right?
Well, I haven't made my mind up. So
I know. So you would rather wait a little while to make your pick instead of I can't wait.
I guess so.
You're not excited to.
But I'm excited. I guess I'm just excited to see Colleton Prep back in a state championship game.
Me too. I'm definitely excited about that. No doubt. We almost got to see Hilton Head Prep in a state championship.
Oh my gosh!
I got a couple clips from Wyatt Harmer. Not sure exactly what we're looking at.
Talking to Robin tomorrow about this team too, because
man,
goodness,
they were up 11 in the second half. Man,
get Doug McFadden in, man. We got to get him in on the show, man.
They let it get away, but look at that long bomb, and then we got sound on this one. You get to hear PD's crowd when they're taking their pants. Cowbells.
Hauser.
Those Brody Hauser. Somebody just said into the to the camera. Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Harmer. I told Wyatt Harmer today, man, what a heck of a job from that
phenomenal.
group. He said he was just really excited they could get it turned around and show what they're capable of there at the end. So great run by those boys, and McFadden's definitely got something to build on now.
Oh yeah, he's got
Yes, he
something up
does.
his sleeve for next season. I can guarantee you that. That is the foundation for Doug McFadden to build on. It really, this is the strongest foundation that Hilton Head Prep has really seen since Ron Peduzzi was there. And I really like how this Hilton Head Prep team is growing and building back into a team that everyone should be scared of. And I think they just showed everyone throughout these playoffs that they can play with the best of the best in their division. No doubt about that. And I just wonder, I mean, I think, it's Bethesda Academy state championship game without a doubt. But I wonder, like, if Hilton Head Prep had gotten through PD, what kind of game would we have seen against Bethesda Academy in the state title game? I just think about that now with how Hilton Head Prep had played throughout the playoffs. Do I think they would have beaten Bethesda? I don't think so. I think Bethesda is a really solid team, but I think Hilton Head Prep, if they can fight with PD Academy on the road at PD Academy, what's to stop them from having a good game against Bethesda? And I just think about that, especially with it have been a 1-point game at PD on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
unreal.
it's two different feelings, because you obviously you feel tremendously proud and excited for the future of this program, but the what could have been had they made one more stop and gotten one step closer, or gotten that step to the state championship game, would have really been the cherry on top of what has been a tremendous run. But it hurts all the same. But I mean, this is a monumental step forward for a football team that I've said before, but they were really on the precipice of the bottom falling out at one point of that program, just a couple of years before.
The crazy thing for me is that we didn't think they had a chance against Calhoun Academy.
No, I thought they had no chance in that game, and
but we thought, some of us thought the same thing against PD. We went with the upset because we just thought of the hype of Prep and how they had been playing.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good upset pick, and it almost cashed in. But
But they don't get to play next week, so
they don't get to play next week. But there's.
But no, it was a heck of a showing. I much
But I
better
think
than
Hilton
I
Head.
expected.
I think
It
Hilton Head
proved
Prep
that the
could be.
Calhoun game was not a fluke. That's what
No,
it proved that wasn't a fluke.
Right there.
Not at all.
They really found something late in the year, after just some tough struggles early, bad luck early in the year. But once they found their identity, they proved that they were a legit contender, and that is something that we have not seen Hilton Head Prep in a long while. It's the first,
Right. I mean,
they had their first playoff win like
legit
10 years.
You can go back to, as we talked about the other day, you can go back to
Kevin Wald.
2015 with Kevin Wald.
Yeah, first playoff win in 10 years.
Ron
They nearly
Peduzzi
did the
before
state
him.
championship game.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, what a
Crazy.
job by Coach McFadden, and what he
They would have made a
did.
Disney movie about them if they beat Bethesda next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
2-8, and then they beat everybody.
That's Hollywood-esque if they were able to do that. But
Yeah.
so
that's what we Hilton Head Christian bowed out, as well as THA.
Hilton Head Christian battled in that game. They made it a one-score game in the second half, but just couldn't stop Wilson Hall. The defense unable to do their job in that one. Give credit to the Barons team. That's a great state championship game between them and Pinewood. That is going to be one heck of a game in 3A between those two teams.
Yep.
Yeah. And how about Heathwood beating Hammond? Heathwood versus North in 4A. Yeah.
Hammond's knocked out.
Crazy.
Is
Heathwood got him.
Friday night 4A, and then
they changed it. years ago.
Bethesda will be the prohibitive favorites in the 2A game. I don't think PD has what it takes to beat Bethesda. Bethesda's shown they're on another level all year compared to any other 2A team, honestly. But we'll see how it plays out on the field. But I just don't see anyone beating Bethesda this year.
No, I don't either. I don't think so. I mean, PD not trending.
But
But let's talk some hoops. Go ahead.
We'll kind of we'll decide it when we get closer. But I might be going live possibly near the end of that state championship game on Saturday or afterwards, and we get to have Max Araj join on location, and if things go right, we might be getting some happy interviews.
Interviews and such.
Yes, yeah. So that's the plan for Saturday as of now. But we will join you. We will join you late afternoon as that game is wrapping up, or shortly thereafter. Just kind of deciding what exactly we're gonna decide to do there. But expect for us to join you live for a full-on reaction recap from what should be a tremendous game between College and Prep and Williamsburg. I think they're the two best teams in 1A. I think credit to Thomas Hayward, tremendous season, and they had their chances against Williamsburg. But I do think the two best teams are going to play each other on Saturday in 1A.
Yes. Just point of clarification here. One could argue that Calhoun Academy is named after the county, which is of course named after the man. Oh. But Kevin Levy is just having fun with the Skeezers, pointing out the history, which we don't shy away from. I mean, it is what it is. But there you go. Talking some hoops though. USCB college basketball season is back in the Lowco. We talked a little bit about the women earlier. Jo, you filled in. Well, you were on the PA for one game, rocking the PA, and then you got to call a couple games with Libby. Women look good. They won the first game. Pretty, it was a back and forth game. They couldn't buy a three. They were 0 for 17 from three, and then Gattosi finally made one, and then they ripped off three down the stretch and kind of pulled away, won by 9. But it was a good dub. It was solid. And then UVA-Y's game, I picked you guys up in the second half, and they were making a comeback, and I thought for sure they were going to win, but came up a little short. But the first half was rough, huh? Just couldn't throw it in the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I think I trust Coach B like 1,000%. Like I think she's an amazing coach, but I think we tried to do too much one-on-one against Caroline Mullins.
Yeah,
and we really started sending doubles at her until like the third quarter, which was way too late. Like I said it on the call. We should have ran like a systematic defense to where we got a different body on her every possession, to where she's not getting used to being guarded by.
Not getting comfortable. Yeah, she doesn't know what she can beat them with necessarily. Yeah. Well, we were discussing Friday night who to put her on. Who to put on her, and we were struggling with who can stay with her on the dribble, off the dribble, but also stay in front of her if she posts you up. I mean, she was an animal. Really good D2 basketball player.
Yeah, I was analyzing like the box score after the game, and she gave us 38 points without scoring a single three. She took 1 3 and missed. I think she went like 13 of 20 from the field.
Wow.
Like 12 or 15 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
But her 38 felt like 60.
And those trips to the foul line take their toll too, because you get people in foul trouble and out of the normal rotation. Tough us there. But
I like how they battled. I just think they didn't get off to a good start, but I think this.
We got a whole lot of fight. I mean, that team.
Really, the end of the first half, I thought they played a lot better. So a lot of new faces this year. So gave some time to gel. And hey, good to see Courtney Campbell out there. That's
Yeah,
really
Courtney
cool to
Campbell
see
is
who
probably my player right
covered
now.
her at the high school level. I thought she was, I liked her excitement and hustle out there to
Oh yeah,
in that game, and had a couple of good looks, just couldn't knock them down, but a couple of free throws, and she's gotten some good usage in terms
she's
of
in the
carrying the
flow.
ball from backcourt and becoming that
Oh, she's
next
Yeah.
gonna
tier
be
in terms
awesome.
of guard who can be a good ball handler and make good passes. So I think it's great to see so much opportunity for her early, and I think this is a great fit for her. And I
Speaking
expect, I mean,
of
being able
Courtney
to learn under
Campbell,
a player like Lydia Gattosi and some of those
yes,
other primary guards on this team, I
Sammy
think is gonna
B.
really do wonders for her as she moves forward as a player. But I'm looking forward to Wednesday night as they take on Florida
Yeah.
Tech. Um, we are going to have
And
a rally for Hoops and Hunger. If you bring 2 canned goods, you get a rally towel, and that's of course a
Oh,
doubleheader. Boys or the women at 5:30 and
women
the
and
men
then the men.
following after the conclusion of the women's game. It says 7:30,
And
but normal time it doesn't start until
yeah,
around 7:45
it's
or 8.
usually more like
Yeah,
7:45 or 8. Yeah.
yeah. But
Before we talk about the men, speaking of
well,
Courtney
I wasn't
Campbell,
finished with
Jeff
the women. I was
Riley.
just gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
I had more to say. I was gonna give a shout out to Samantha Bardinaro. I was really impressed with
Sammy
what I saw
B.
from her and her
Sammy
the
B.
first time I've seen her. I was excited. I mean, obviously it wasn't the best shooting game from her, but I thought she was very impactful in other areas. And when she can knock down the three, um, I I I'm excited to see what she can do. But just great to see Janai Hayward back at the start of the season because she's so important in a number of ways, rebounding, making good passes, and um, I don't think it was the best game for her, but I think she is going to really get going as the season goes along, and I think this team as a whole. And tonight, but in 31 minutes, good to see her get some good time in there. Um, but exciting stuff from Gattosi, how well she played. Good to see a lot of the bench players come in and get some time. I saw like Kendrick was a sizable player who I thought was very impactful.
B.
Yeah,
Big
she was
B.
a beast in that one. Yeah, so I think there's a lot more depth that we're seeing right now. But at the same time, can they find a way to really gel in this first portion of the season? Because I think if they can stay healthy, and I think they have some players who can really take some big time strides. But it hurts to see. The transfer portal is a big part of the game. I mean, it happens. You lose players, you get players through the transfer portal. But I I think this team's going to compete. I'm not sure if they're like top half of the conference good, but they'll be in almost every game. Like they'll be competitive by, especially if they're able to knock down some shots. And Lydia Gattosi plays the level that she has, and you get some good contributions from uh, Bardonaro and others. And yeah, I think it'll be exciting if they can stay healthy. They'll be very competitive.
You know what's funny that I just thought about with the transfer portal? For years and years and years, coaches have said, well, you know what? If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. You can just go. And now people can just go and they get mad when they do. I mean, if they didn't
Yeah.
want to be here, you're not losing anybody who wants to be there, so don't sweat it. But no, Courtney Campbell, outstanding weekend debut, and our friend Jeff Riley caught up with her after the game on Saturday.
I'm here with Courtney Campbell. What school are you from?
I went to Hilton Head Prep.
Hilton Head Prep, from Hilton Head Prep. And so tell me about your season so far, your first 2 games with the women's basketball team.
It's been really good. We've worked really hard the past 2 or 3 months, just kind of developing our culture and kind of finding our identity. This past tournament, I feel like we really found our identity of just being relentless. We went into the locker room at halftime, both games just kind of down, and we kind of just fought back, continued to claw through. through like supporting each other, being good teammates for each other, playing defense, just trying to do all the little things, even though our shots weren't really falling like we normally would want.
Yeah, you played really good. Your team played really good tonight, and I see you're bonding. You like form as a group when you're in the huddles, timeouts, and even when before the free throws too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Our coaches just kind of instill like we need to be friends off the floor too, and we've kind of taken it upon ourselves just to grow connections off the floor, which kind of helped us with on the floor connection. And just like our saying this year is like B1, which is like just B1 together. And we had someone come in and talk to us, one of Coach V's old teammates, who kind of just put emphasis on like speaking honey to yourself. Like if you mess up, it's next play mentality. It's kind of like B1, like a B, so like speak honey type thing. So we kind of came up with a little motto, but yeah. Cool. Just like little stuff like that, and we eat lunch together basically every day. Like we're best friends off the floor too.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah. Do you have a nickname?
Do I?
Yeah.
They call me Lil Court, like the rapper kind of type thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my roommate Z came up with that.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, tonight Bowman has a nickname.
Yeah, I heard it's Chainsaw, or what is it?
Jigsaw.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Jigsaw.
She's so
yeah. Chainsaw.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. And who's the best sweat mopper in the games?
I'm going to say you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, back to JJ.
Love it. Love
awesome.
Kevin and
indeed.
Jeff's little post-game escapades are always fun.
Yeah, hey, and, he's still doing his thing on the mopping. I saw that during timeouts, and he's got the smile. Always got the smile on, energized, and I always love watching him do his mopping duty. I'm excited for him to get on the court with his best buddies at some point later in the year.
That's always fun. So yeah, the women are off to a good start. Court looks great. Guys, we get our first look at them on Wednesday against Florida Tech when they'll face Ty Harpring, former Hilton Prep star as well. Guys look good this weekend. They put up a hundo in both games, 100-80 over Emory and Henry, and then a 103-91 win over Francis Marion. Just like we've come to expect, it was different guys scoring the most each day. I mean, everybody's scoring, but it's different guys each day leading the way. On Friday, it was Dom Eason had 20 and 6. Dylan Lewis had 12 and 6. Evan Kilminster, the Australian point guard from College of Charleston, had 10 points and 5 assists. And then Ish Rashid had 14 and 7. Nolan Paladugu had 10 coming off the bench. He's always good for some instant offense.
He's
and
prolific.
One of the guys we think of as one of the biggest offensive threats, Hudson Norton, played 8 minutes and had 3 points, and they still put up 100. So looking good, man. I love to see it.
He didn't get any points in 8 minutes. Hudson Norton did. I mean, that just shows.
Oh yeah, in the second game. So he had 3 points in 16 minutes for a whole weekend. And they still put up 200.
I mean that, and they still put up 100 with other guys.
You got to fight for minutes in this lineup.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh yeah, Ish had 24 and 7 on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the second game. Yeah, Rashid was tremendous.
Oh my gosh! Look at Kilminster's line: 15.6 boards, 9 assists.
Goodness gracious!
This triple double territory almost. That's pretty impressive.
Son.
Yep.
What do you think, Jo?
Man, I got the
that's your boys.
Faith.
Yeah.
Is
this team? I mean, I think they're as advertised. I think they're a contender in this Peach Belt Conference. I mean, I'm
second
at the championship game last year.
We're looking at an NCAA tournament team.
Yeah, I think this team is going to be legit. You got some couple of big important pieces back from that terrific team last year, and then you add in, you try to fit the puzzle together with different guys, and I think Ron Fudalo did a very good job in terms of filling the holes or just cleaning up some places in terms of getting guys who could be impactful and hopeful. So I'm already counting down the hours until tip off on Wednesday night. First opportunity, first look this USC men's team. We won't see him very often, at least until the new year. But
Yeah.
we'll see him one more time against Augusta, I believe, going up in December. But
The 10th.
should be.
The Ville takes over the Cove night.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, the Marching Shockwave may be making an appearance.
Cool.
Cool. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Anything to make that gym louder than it already is. Definitely.
Man, that place be rocking.
Yeah, and I'll say,
It
man,
does.
it got pretty loud for at least Friday night's game. It was pretty loud for the USCB game. It kind of quieted down when the USCB fans emptied it out. In fact, it was eerily quiet for the second game. And then I'm sure it was the flip the other way around on Saturday. But it sounded like it was pretty raucous in there Saturday night for the nightcap.
Yeah, it was like it kind of like fluctuated. Like it just as the game went along, it was just like a roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, they were probably dead in the first half when they were struggling. But then when the rally started, man, I really thought they were going to win that game for a good minute.
I mean, Sammy got a 3 to go, and then Lydia got a 3 to go, and that's when I thought we were going to make a run. But Miss Mullins is the truth, and she wasn't really going for it. So,
yep. So we got Florida Tech coming to the Cove on Wednesday, 5:30, 7:30. I plan to be on the call for those ones with Rich Basirico on the guys game, and I think it's going to be Kevin with me. Actually, Kevin can't make the women's game on Wednesday, so I'm looking for a color commentator for the women's game. I got to make a couple calls. I like to bring basketball insight beyond mine when I can, but you're the backup, Jo. They just always have another job for you. If I don't take you away. So we'll get it figured out for Wednesday night. Should be a couple of good games in the Cove. Get out and see them. Support the Low Country's home team, the Sand Sharks. And then the other big thing was the cross country. We talked about it a little bit Friday night and a little bit at the top, but Bluffton girls running away with the championship. I did get a little bit more insight into how they were able to win so big after being like basically dead even with Bishop England last week. They had a couple of runners who were kind of nursing injuries and kind of just getting through it for the state qualifier, and they were good to go for the big race. So they ran away with it. Shout out to the Craps girls. I've known them since they were babies at Amazing Creations, Ella and Maddie, and they were both part of back-to-back state championship teams. So pretty cool to watch little kids grow up to be state champs.
Yep.
How about the 7th grader, Kaylee DiGermensi, running a 19 flat?
Yeah, crazy work.
Yep.
Wow.
And then shout out Julia McKenna from Hilton Head, 2nd overall, individual runner-up. So
what was she, like 18?
It's 1834, although Dea Ross from Wren blew everyone out of the water with 1803.
Wow.
But I mean,
how
just the march
Talon
victory.
Farrington from May River with the 1545.
Yes.
Jeez.
Blazing. That is incredible stuff.
Got beat. That's crazy. But yeah, Bluffton girls won it by a bunch. May River finished 3rd. Hilton Head 6th. So really good stuff from the girls. And like you said, McKenna with the runner-up finish from Hilton Head to lead the way. They call her Jules McKenna.
Jules McKenna. All right.
Yeah. And then on the boys' side, good showing from May River, finishing 4th. Bluffton 12th and Hilton Head 13th. But some strong individual performances, but not the expectation that those programs usually have. Yeah.
From some of those teams, but congrats to the ladies. Back-to-back state titles. First one with a new coach. I mean, Dana House hung them up last year, and now with transition and first
Woody
year.
Melton.
Yeah.
Got him a ring.
Good stuff. State championship.
Really good dude. Really good dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our big stories for the week. So shouting out our sponsors. We got Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. They'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Wes, you free tomorrow at 7?
Yes, I will be.
All right. You're producing.
For that.
You're producing The Voice tomorrow night then. So
Yeah.
boys are on at 7 tomorrow night. They want to get it in before all the good college hoops games start because
Oh,
Curry, once the
fair
8
enough.
o'clock tip
Yes,
start,
Curry,
Curry
the
is
average
locked in.
college hoops junkie.
Oh,
Yep.
absolute junkie. He's got a list of games that he can't miss.
So he's
Gotta
probably
do it.
watching like the 10 games at once, something like that.
Right.
I'm just
Wouldn't
trying to keep
surprise
an eye on
me.
everything that's
Him and Basirko both. I'm
going
amazed
on.
in how much
What we
they've
got
seen
tomorrow?
week
Ooh,
after week.
Kansas and Duke.
Oh, I can tell
Michigan
you what he
State,
said.
Kentucky, Michigan State, Kentucky. That's a 6:30 p.m. game. So I'm sure they'll have to keep an eye on that while we're doing the show, and then those are the two big ones.
He says, not joking. Tuesday night filled with BB. Heels, Kentucky, Michigan. Heels, Kentucky, Michigan
North
State, Duke,
Carolina
Kansas.
against Navy. Yeah, so there's some good ones going on the hardwood on the basketball court, the college level, and then we'll be at the Cove on Wednesday, as mentioned, for some college basketball of our own, our local college team, to our teams. So forward to that.
That's
but
right. Shout
Curry,
out to Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, as well as HHI Windows and Doors. Our old friend Coach Barron, improving your view of the Low Country. Twinge and Twombly, the personal injury attorneys in Beaufort, with the rare name and remarkable service. Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports, and Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. All right, Wes, you want to lead off parting thoughts?
All right. What a game from Bryce Young yesterday. Tremendous rally. I'll tell you what, there were some times where I thought Carolina was absolutely cooking this game. Probably, in the first half a few times, and then he got banged up, came back. He got banged up twice in this game. I mean, just an incredibly resilient performance. Not only did he win the game, he rallied that team to win with just an incredible performance. 3 touchdown passes, including that brilliant go-ahead score to Tet McMillan, who has been just an absolute star in this league before Falcons were able to force OT with a field goal, and then the big play to Tommy Tremble. What an incredible piece that he has been. I mean, he really showed some good signs early in his career, but good for him to make that big play to really allow the game-winning field goal to go through. But Bryce Young, 448 passing yards. This is a franchise record. Cam Newton did not reach that passing yards number in a single game. 448 yards.
And he got banged up early, didn't he?
Yes,
early in the
I
game?
said he got banged up early and he got hurt again. But man, there have been at least twice this season where they have faced fourth down in ball game situations. Bryce Young has found a way to come through. You look back at that Miami game very early into the season when they were in very dire straits. I mean, this was I believe week
Meow
week
Mix
5.
podcast.
They were sitting at 1-3. They were down a decent margin against Miami, and Young was able to rally them back. And it's been just for Carolina fans, it has been a welcome change in just terms of the narrative for this team the last few years. And obviously, Rico Dowdle has been the catalyst on offense, but now you're starting to see some confidence from your franchise quarterback, and that can go a long way. I think that I was not entirely on board with McMillan when they drafted him, but I will tell you what, in retrospect, I think he has certainly lived up to the expectations and then some from what he has done. And Bryce needed that go-to wide receiver. They didn't really. I mean, who was like Xavier Legette at times was their top target last year. I mean, Legette has been better, but you
Adam Thielen.
Yeah, but Thielen, he's like over the hill.
That's
He's
his prime.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is he was like his number one
He's-
receiver last year.
He's ready to be put out to pasture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very exciting because now you get ready for a big time prime time showdown against Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers next week in Levi's Stadium. That should be a ton of fun and a lot on the line for a team that is finally relevant for the first time in a number of years. So, good signs there. Unfortunately, I feel for the Atlanta Falcons because it looks like Penix, from what I've heard, he might be done for the season.
I think so.
From what I have heard
Doesn't matter, this
in
Falcons team
recent
wasn't gonna do
reports. Unfortunate to see it that way. Yeah, looks like
might as well
knee
tank
injury
now
and-
and get a better draft pick.
Yes,
right?
he's expected to
Honestly.
miss the rest of the
well,
season, and so
Here's the
it'll be
thing.
Kirk Cousins under center the rest of the way for Atlanta as they try to play out the rest of the year.
So here's the thing with that, Justin. They could tank, but the problem is they don't have a first round pick this year
Oh,
because they gave it away to pick up James Pierce from Tennessee this past draft. So yeah, they're cooked. Look, here's my thing with the Falcons. Like, obviously, Wes, I agree with you. This Carolina Panthers team is a fantastic team, and Bryce Young is starting to come into his own, which I'm grateful for because I do like Bryce Young. It's just I didn't know if he was going to be able to handle the NFL, and he's starting to show everyone that he can when he has the right tools around him. For the Falcons, though, they have too much talent on both offense and on defense. I mean, the defense has been solid at times, but they've been inconsistent. And the offense has had a couple good games, but the rest of them, they've been absolute trash.
and that's
They are too talented of a team to be sitting with a 3-7 record.
When you have a top five, maybe top
Yeah.
3 or 2 running back in the NFL, and Bijan Robinson, and you have an emerging young star with Drake London at wide receiver. You have Kyle Pitts, still a solid tight end, good blocking tight end in the NFL. I mean, that's some talent to build around.
And you got other help with Tyler Algier, who's been a beast at running back when Bijan's not on the field, and Darnell Mooney, who's had good seasons with Atlanta over the last couple seasons with them. He's had some good seasons, been a solid wide receiver too for them. But it's the coaching staff. It's not the players. It's the coaching staff. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, has been the most predictable offensive coordinator. I mean, like it'll be 3rd down and 7, and they'll go for a screenplay, a wide receiver screenplay. And the funny thing is, it never works. I've been watching this Falcons team all season long, and they're the most predictable looking offense I've ever seen. And it's ridiculous. It's an inexperienced coaching staff with a head coach who does not have a good track record as a head coach. And I still don't understand why they picked him. I mean, they went and did sit-down interviews with Harbaugh, they even did Bill Belichick for an interview as well. I mean, they had more prestigious coaches. Mike Vrabel was on that list as well. And look what he's done with New England, And they went with Raheem Morris. And his track record as both an interim head coach and a head coach at Atlanta, with Atlanta, and his other head coaching jobs, not a great track record for him. And I still don't understand.
I kind of think Vrabel was destined to go to New England, but
100%. He was destined to go there. But it's the fact that the Falcons, interviewed so many different coaches, and they ended up with Raheem Morris. Did I hate the Raheem Morris pick at first? No, I thought he could bring some energy to the Falcons, team that needed some energy with the talent they had, but it's just not worked out. And I just feel as if I think the Falcons going to need to make a move sooner rather than later, or else they're going to lose this entire team before they could do anything with them, including making the playoffs. Because, I mean, you look at this team, I think at the beginning of the year, a lot of teams expected them to either win the division, win the NFC South, or, go into the playoffs as a wild card. They don't have a shot now. They're not a chance, and it's frustrating. I mean, injuries have played a part, but the coaching staff is the other issue. And I think, if you had a better coaching staff suited for this team on both sides of the ball, I think this Falcons team wouldn't be 3-7. I think they'd be more like what Tampa Bay is right now with a 6-4 record. I think they'd be sitting in a spot to make a run towards the playoffs. But it's just it's frustrating. And of course, being a Falcons fan, I know Marcus, you're the same boat with me on this one. It's frustrating to watch this team right now.
The biggest problem that I have, and it's been a problem that I've had for who the heck knows how many years, especially calling high school and college games. The defense, and in particularly the inability to properly tackle.
Oh,
There were so many missed tackles that you see week in and week out. And I watched a big portion of that Falcons-Panthers game yesterday. And that game scoring play, I mean, how many missed tackles were there?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
they're trying to go for the headshot. They're trying to make the big play. They're trying to wrap somebody up by the sleeves. It doesn't work.
No.
You need to wrap somebody up. And again, I never
the
played
legs.
organized
Go for the
football.
legs.
You wrap
You
somebody
gotta hit
up
that
or you
blast
go for their
double, baby.
legs.
That's why you gotta wrestle.
Yeah, you wrap somebody up and you drive them into the ground, or you go for
Right.
their legs and you tackle
Without-
by the legs.
Yeah.
Without getting the penalty
Tackle.
flag. But
Correct.
I mean, look, I
Yeah,
just,
it's called tackle football
Yeah.
for a reason.
Tackle them.
but
don't
I
just
just,
Dive
agree
and
with
roll
you.
at
It
them like Donkey
drives
Kong
me
and hope they fall down.
nuts.
I agree with you, Marcus, on this. The other thing I would say is this Falcons team, defensive wise, I know they've had some injuries on both sides of the ball. Clearly, obviously, Michael Penix might be out for the year. Drake London also had a knee injury in that late in the game in the overtime. That was hurtful for them too.
Very.
So I'm not sure where he's sitting right now. But the other thing about that coaching staff is they've had some injuries that they haven't been completely honest with. They've held back on sharing injuries with with the public, with the press, and I mean it just gives a bad rep for them. But I think the other thing is, I think Marcus and I have seen, like, especially at the beginning of the year, this defense was solid. I mean, extremely good pass rushing team. They were middle of the pack in terms of rush defense, but they were one of the more
Then they
solid.
played some more games.
Yeah, then they played some more games. I mean, look, we looked at that Buffalo Bills game. Everything after that has been disastrous.
Rough.
I mean, even that game against the 49ers where they played solid but just couldn't stop Christian McCaffrey, and it started with a cascade of effects after that. I mean, after that Bills and 49ers games, it's just been downhill for the Falcons. And as a Falcons fan, boy, there's times when I really lose hope in this. I don't want to lose hope in this team, but they're making it really difficult for me right now to actually, say that I have hope in this team for the future, because I just, with a team as talented as they are, to be sitting 3-7, it's ridiculous.
They have a good core, and I mean, in terms of the players that you need to build up I mean, these offensive pieces that you need are there. And I think they've done well in the draft to get a couple of needs filled defensively, but the coaching staff has just not been up to par. And I think there's going to be some changes.
I mean, look, the general manager for the Falcons has been absolutely amazing, especially in the drafts over the last couple of years.
I think they've nailed some of the draft, especially.
I wouldn't fire him. I mean, I think it's coming soon. I think it's coming soon. If they keep losing like this, they got to take him out. They got to take Raheem out and the rest of that stuff. He's done. No, and I think in their next search, they better choose someone who's got a actual coaching record, that someone that can help this team, towards the future. If they choose Bill Belichick, that's the final straw for me. I ain't going to a Falcons game next year. I tell you that.
I don't think he's getting an NFL job, at least as a head coach. No.
No, the Falcons would be stupid enough to go after.
I mean, if he does, it's a mistake.
Nobody's inviting his girlfriend into their front office.
It's not just the quality that he's. I don't think he's the coach he once was.
No, he's
not. But then all the media, the distraction.
How old of a guy is he? Like 75, 80?
It's a mess. Easily. Like, why would you?
Way too old for that girl.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
My gosh,
man. It's just
brutal.
Frustrating. It's just frustrating. But on the other hand, for the Panthers, man, what a season they've been having. And all credit to them. Look, I may be a Falcons fan. We do hate the Panthers, but I got to give the Panthers credit for what they've put together in terms of coaching staff and the team that they have.
Doubts about Dave Canales heading here, and really early in the season. I thought the play calling at times was a bit too predictable in a couple of situations, and I just wasn't sold that the offense was really making the strides it needed to, because I thought the defense was able to keep them in a couple of games, and then just some inconsistencies from their quarterback and the offense as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But they've finally been able to put things together, with a great running game, and then now you're starting to see the maturity from your first overall pick from a couple of years ago that you needed to see. And so, confidence goes a long way when you're able to string together a couple of wins in a decent time span that this team has been able to put together. Now it's encouraging, and this fan base needed it. There has been a revolving door when you look at guys like Teddy Bridgewater and Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, who have been under center from this team, and it has been just a mess under Matt Rule when he was there, and I wasn't sold on Canals early on, as I said, but give credit to him and what he has done to build his own style of culture, and now you're really starting to see it come into fruition. And despite a team that has been banged up, they've lost a couple of guys on the offensive line early in the year and getting parts of the year, but man, have they stayed steady, and has that run game really come through in some big parts of this year. And
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. JC Horn, he is a stud.
Yeah.
Great to see him continue to ball out there. And I'll tell you what, there have been a couple of guys who have really caught my eye defensively. I love their defensive coaches, what they have done, and just really great to see this team finally start to define the identity now after a couple of lean years. This is probably the most optimistic I've felt about this team since probably the mid 2010s. Around 17 or so. It's been a long time.
By the way, that is the sorry, I was going to say the other thing I was going to say is that's the Falcons' second straight loss in overtime.
Talk about Bryce Young absolutely dominating the Atlanta Falcons.
448 passing yards.
Yeah.
Mercy.
I prefer the Panthers to the Falcons or the Jaguars as our regional teams go. I don't really care about any of them per se, but I decided years ago that the Panthers were going to be the one that I adopted as my geographical team. So I got like hype about that game a little bit. I was pretty excited, and for Wes. But then the Chiefs let me down because they just fell into the Broncos spell.
They're struggling, man.
The Broncos are so mid. I do not understand how they keep beating people.
It feels like kind of reminds me of the Chiefs
I think
last
they have
year.
one of the
They win a lot of
strongest
close
defenses
games
in the league right now with how they've been playing.
I'm biased. I hate them, okay? I know their defense is good, but they're so
mid.
mid.
Justin, we know.
They're so mid. Cortland Sutton's
not mid.
a
They just beat the
receiver.
Chiefs.
They don't have a
How can
running
you call them
back.
mid, man?
Their quarterback's mid, but he did make one really good freaking throw. I hate him. I do enjoy Sean Payton as my heel, though. I don't like that guy particularly, so I do enjoy cheering against him. And I enjoyed watching the Jags destroy the Chargers.
That is awesome.
And the Cowboys are destroying the Raiders.
Good
gracious. Kansas City has had
wild.
It seems like they've had a really tough schedule this year, and it just seems like
they
had to start the season against. I mean, they had to play.
Well, it's just coming out in the wash. We won all the close games last year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
we're losing all the close games this year.
Right. I mean, it's regression, but at the same time, I mean, they've certainly had to run the gauntlet against a couple of very strong teams in the AFC, and
figure that offensive line out
starting to be crunch time for them now. I mean, I expect them to turn it on these next few games, but you don't have that room for error right now. The
AFC playoff picture looks so wild right now. Like no one would have predicted what it looks like right now. Like Bills and Denver are both in danger of not making
it's wide open.
Indy,
it's
Denver,
wide open
and New England.
The Chargers.
There's no favorite.
New England, Indy, and Denver are the top 3 seeds.
Which is crazy. That's crazy to think
Nobody would have called that. So it's wild.
Absolutely
I wouldn't have called that.
Jeremy, are you still there? Do you have a parting thought?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I don't know if he's still there.
Might be
Marcus,
gone.
you got a parting thought?
I do. Talking about another team that's just finding a way to be disastrous week in, week out, day in, day out. The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Actually thought that they might have a chance to win that game when I was in choral society rehearsal and I saw it was 16-16. Thought they still had a fighting chance with that, and they were up 16-10. I texted my dad. I said, "You're watching this, right?" He said they need to hang on. Sure enough, they didn't. Shadur struggled at the end from what I heard. Certainly the issues remain at quarterback. Not surprised that the Browns found a way to lose.
Oh, I still think he's better than Dylan Gabriel, though.
I
still think
I agree,
and
but
I don't know why it's taken the Browns so long to just switch out Dylan Gabriel, because it's not working. It's not working with Dylan Gabriel. It's just not. I still don't understand why it's taken them so long. And it was for the fact that Dylan Gabriel got injured that Shador went in. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have put him in. And it's frustrating to watch if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. Now, I will say, outside of the Falcons, the other two teams I support are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns, because I have a lot of family that live in Cleveland. So I've grown up watching Browns football with my grandparents and stuff like that. So I grew up watching Cleveland Browns, and man, what a trio of teams that I've chosen to watch for the NFL. But still,
this is for the Browns. This is for the Browns. At least you tried.
Yeah, that's
true.
Right.
Yep.
JJ,
And then
I'm sure you're familiar with Bernie Kosar and what he was able to do with Cleveland. Some better. I mean, it's definitely really tough news for Bernie Kosar, but some really good news in the outcome that he had liver transplant surgery. I think it was over the weekend. And it is marked as successful. So he's been struggling health-wise for a long time, and he had successful liver transplant surgery. So all the best to Bernie Kosar. Folks, 10 years older than me certainly know a lot about him. 10 years older and beyond, of course. One of the guys that my dad used to watch a bunch.
Arch, and I don't think Arch wants the Browns.
I don't think anyone wants Arch.
Arch is going to the Saints, right? They got to rig that.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but who really does want Arch Manning? I mean, look, I like Arch Manning, but I don't think
take him.
Somebody will take him, but do I think he's going to be a successful NFL quarterback? No,
I'm not convinced yet. He's not a successful college quarterback yet,
especially after their loss to Georgia on Saturday.
Really. He ain't beat nobody yet. Jo, did you have but prayers up to Bernie Kosar. I love that dude when I was
sure.
Jo, do you have a parting thought?
Parting thought.
What's on your mind? What'd you see this weekend that you got to share with us? Something we needed to know.
Take your time. We got another hour. It's all good.
Yeah, it's not like we're trying. It's not like it's a school night or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have class in the morning, or class at all tomorrow. So hey, I can stay a little extra late. But no, but I'm gonna keep it short. Go Sharks! Can't wait to play Florida Tech on Wednesday, and I think the girls gonna come out with something improved after taking that tough loss to UVA-wise, and I think the boys are gonna keep things afloat, get another win. So that's all I got.
Should be good ones. Who's your NFL team?
Seahawks. I don't want to talk about them right now.
Sam Darnold
looked horrendous yesterday. So
Darnold looked like the end of
seeing the ghosts again.
Yeah, he was definitely seeing ghosts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. My parting thought. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. So singer-songwriter, big fan of the singer-songwriter named Todd Snyder, and he's a guy that if you ever heard of him, if you knew who he was, you just absorbed everything he ever wrote, and it became a part of you. If you didn't know who he was, which is the truth for most people, you've missed out, but it's okay. He's left behind a massive catalog of music. He passed away this weekend. I'd been thinking about him for the last couple of weeks because he had an incident. He had to cancel his tour. He said that he was mugged in front of his hotel room. He went to the hospital, and then he was asking officers to help him go back to the hospital to get treatment, and they arrested him. And so then he ended up going back to Nashville. I come to Nashville. About a week later, he was diagnosed with walking pneumonia, which explains some of the brain fog and why he was confused when he was out west. I saw I was on my way to Orangeburg this weekend, Saturday, and just all of a sudden I wanted to listen to Todd Snyder, and I put on Todd Snyder, and we listened to it the rest of the way to Orangeburg. And then at lunch I saw that he was sick, and then a couple hours later I saw he was dead. And he was in his 50s.
Shoot.
And it hit me hard, man, because like he's just a guy that I don't know. I take a lot of my philosophy on life from a lot of things he wrote that I related to that made sense about the human condition. And so it's hitting me hard. But I wanted to share this one lyric. I had to pick just one, but I like this one. It's from the ballad of what's this song called? The Ballad of the Devil's Backbone Tavern. Great story about him going out to play in this dive bar every weekend until he made it. And the bartender, old Miss Virgie, she said, come over and sit down, you little shit. I got something you need to hear. She said, life ain't easy getting through. Everybody's going to make things tough on you. But I can tell you right now, if you dig what you do, they'll never get you down. She said, life's too short to worry. Life's too long to wait. It's too short not to love everybody, and life's too long to hate. I meet a lot of men who haggle and finagle all the time, trying to save a nickel, maybe make a dime. Not me, no siree. I ain't got the time. So that's Todd Snyder. Rest in peace. Great inspiration, and the world's worst place without him in it. So
yeah,
some love.
Yeah,
check out Todd Snyder. He's got a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, he's cool.
Start with the live stuff. He tells some incredible stories in between about how he came up with songs, and it's good stuff. But life's too long to worry. Life's too short to wait. But I enjoy spending an hour and 37 minutes with you boys on Monday night, and you as well, Kevin Libby, in the comments. So
yes,
great
indeed.
show tonight, guys. Thanks to everybody who makes it possible, especially our sponsors and our listeners and watchers. Those of you who show up to listen or watch, we appreciate you. And we will see you again a later night this week. We got Under the Bus tomorrow, and we'll play it by ear from there as we prepare for another week of high school football playoffs. And we got a lot of high school basketball coming our way, guys. We had some scrimmages and stuff tonight. So
about time
we'll get
for a
you
hoops
all
report.
cut up on that. Yes, that's coming soon too. We're gonna have a reconfigured hoops report with some real hoop heads, and then we'll all handle the day-to-day here in the Lowdown. But that's all coming at you later on. But we're done for tonight. So for Marcus Walsh, Jeremy Orr, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.